In the middle of Las Vegas, a city known for flashing lights, gambling tables, and endless tourism, a quieter but equally dramatic story was unfolding inside a small pawn shop that would later become a global television sensation. This is the world that shaped Corey Harrison, often known to fans of reality television as Big Hoss. His life was never separate from the business his family built, because from the moment he was born, he was surrounded by gold, silver, collectibles, and constant negotiations over value. The Harrison family's pawn shop was not just a place of work, it was a classroom, a battlefield, and a legacy in motion. Corey grew up watching his father and grandfather turn everyday items into profitable deals, learning the rhythm of appraisal and bargaining long before he understood fame or television cameras. Yet behind the polished image seen on screen, there was a much more complicated reality involving pressure, expectations, personal mistakes, and emotional struggles. This is not just a story about a pawn shop becoming famous. It is about a family business turning into a cultural phenomenon, while its members dealt with success, conflict, and personal challenges behind the scenes. Corey's journey reflects both privilege and burden, where opportunity and responsibility were handed to him at the same time, shaping a life that would eventually be watched by millions around the world. The roots of a family pawn empire in Las Vegas. The foundation of the Harrison family business began long before television ever entered the picture. It started with Richard Benjamin Harrison, known affectionately as the Old Man, who opened a small secondhand shop in Las Vegas in the early 1980s. At first, it was not a glamorous operation. It was a modest store dealing in coins and used goods, built on simple transactions and steady customer trust. Over time, his son Rick Harrison became deeply involved, bringing ambition and vision to expand what his father had started. Together, they worked tirelessly, often juggling multiple jobs, including repossession work and long hours in the shop. Corey, growing up in this environment, saw firsthand how determination and consistency could transform even the smallest business into something sustainable. The pawn industry itself was heavily regulated in Las Vegas, and obtaining a license was not easy due to strict city rules limiting the number of pawnbrokers. Despite these obstacles, the Harrisons persisted, navigating bureaucracy and waiting for the right opportunity to expand. When they finally secured the proper licensing, the gold and silver pawn shop officially came to life as a legitimate pawn brokerage. This marked the beginning of what would eventually evolve into one of the most recognizable pawn businesses in the United States, laying the groundwork for everything Corey would later inherit and participate in: struggles, licensing battles, and early business growth. Before the pawn shop became widely known, the Harrison family faced significant legal and logistical hurdles that tested their patience and persistence. Las Vegas regulations at the time limited how many pawn licenses could exist based on population, which meant expansion was not simply a matter of opening another store. Rick Harrison spent years tracking city population reports and repeatedly checking when the legal threshold would be reached. This constant monitoring eventually paid off when the population milestone allowed for an additional license, opening the door for expansion. The process, however, was far from smooth. There were delays, administrative resistance, and competition for approval that made the journey frustrating. Despite these challenges, the family managed to establish the gold and silver pawn shop at its now famous location near the Las Vegas Strip. Once operational, the business gradually grew through word of mouth, repeat customers, and increasingly valuable pawned items. Jewelry, rare collectibles, and unusual artifacts became part of their daily transactions. Corey, still young at the time, observed how unpredictable the pawn business could be, with some days bringing high-value deals and others filled with small, routine exchanges. This environment taught him adaptability early on. The shop slowly transitioned from a local business into a financially stable operation, generating millions annually, long before television cameras ever documented its activity. From local pawn shop to television phenomenon, the transformation of the gold and silver pawn shop into a television hit did not happen overnight. It began with the growing interest in reality programming during the early 2000s, when producers started looking for unique, character-driven businesses. Rick Harrison's persistence played a key role in pitching the concept of a pawn shop-based show, although initial attempts were repeatedly rejected. Eventually, production companies recognized the potential of showcasing real transactions, unusual items, and the dynamic personalities working inside the store. A major breakthrough came when television executives realized that the shop's daily operations naturally created drama, humor, and human stories. The format was refined to include expert appraisals, negotiations, and customer interactions, turning ordinary pawn transactions into compelling television moments. When the show eventually launched, it quickly gained popularity for its authenticity and entertaining cast, including Rick, Corey, and their colleague Austin Chumley Russell. Corey, known for his larger presence and growing responsibility in the shop, became a central figure in many episodes. The success of the show elevated the business from a local attraction to an internationally recognized brand, attracting tourists from around the world who wanted to visit the now famous location they had seen on screen. Corey Harrison's role, personality, and business responsibility. As the television show gained momentum, Corey Harrison gradually evolved from a background worker into one of the most recognizable faces of the business. His role inside the pawn shop expanded significantly, especially as he began handling more complex negotiations and higher-value transactions. Known for his direct communication style, Corey often found himself balancing customer expectations with the financial goals of the shop. Working alongside his father and grandfather, he frequently faced disagreements over pricing, risk assessment, and inventory decisions. These conflicts, although sometimes tense, highlighted the generational differences in business strategy. Corey represented a more modern, risk-tolerant approach, while his father and grandfather often leaned toward conservative decision-making. Over time, Corey became responsible for managing staff and overseeing day-to-day operations, proving that he was more than just a television personality. He was actively involved in maintaining the shop's profitability and reputation. However, this responsibility also came with pressure, especially as public attention increased. Fans of the show often saw him as confident and assertive, but behind the scenes, he was constantly navigating expectations from both his family and the audience watching his every move. Fame, wealth, and the challenges of public attention. With the success of the television series came fame, financial growth, and a new level of public scrutiny that significantly changed Corey Harrison's life. The pawn shop became a tourist destination, and Corey himself became a recognizable public figure. While this brought financial rewards and business opportunities, it also introduced pressures that extended beyond normal work expectations. Every decision made in the shop was now being watched and analyzed by millions of viewers, which increased the stakes of even small transactions. Corey's lifestyle also changed, as fame brought invitations to events, media appearances, and increased social visibility. However, this visibility also meant that personal mistakes or poor decisions were more likely to become public knowledge. The balance between entertainment and real business operations became increasingly complex, as the show required engaging content while the shop still needed to function as a legitimate pawn brokerage. Corey often found himself at the center of debates about risk-taking versus tradition, especially when dealing with expensive or unusual items. His growing confidence in business decisions sometimes clashed with the more cautious approach of his father, creating tension that was frequently captured on camera and amplified by the show's narrative structure. Accidents, legal issues, and life-altering moments. Beyond controversies, Corey Harrison has also experienced serious physical and legal challenges that significantly impacted his life. One of the most notable incidents involved a motorcycle accident that occurred during a personal trip. While riding, he was forced to react quickly to avoid a potentially severe crash, resulting in injury that required medical attention and surgical treatment. The accident left him with lasting physical reminders in the form of medical hardware and recovery time. In addition to this, he has faced legal issues related to driving incidents, including allegations involving impaired driving. These events added further complexity to his public image and created additional challenges outside of his business responsibilities. Each incident contributed to a narrative of a life marked by both success and instability, where personal decisions sometimes led to serious consequences. Despite these setbacks, Corey continued working within the pawn business and maintaining his role in the television series. However, these experiences also served as turning points, forcing reflection on personal behavior and long-term consequences. They highlight the reality that fame and financial success do not shield individuals from mistakes, injuries, or legal accountability. Family relationships, marriages, and emotional struggles. Corey Harrison's personal life has also been shaped by relationships that have experienced both joy and difficulty. He has been married more than once, with relationships that began with strong emotional connections but eventually ended in separation. His first marriage, formed during his early adulthood, ultimately ended after several years, reportedly influenced by lifestyle pressures and career demands. Later, he entered another marriage that also ended in divorce, though it remained relatively amicable, particularly due to shared responsibilities involving their child. Corey is a father, and his role as a parent has remained an important aspect of his life, despite personal relationship changes. Over time, he has also been linked to other relationships, though many details remain private or unconfirmed. These experiences reflect the challenges of maintaining personal stability while living under public attention and managing a demanding business career. Emotional strain, travel, filming schedules, and public visibility all contributed to difficulties in sustaining long-term relationships. Despite these challenges, Corey has remained connected to his family and continues to prioritize his role within the business and his responsibilities as a father, loss, family tragedy, and personal reflection. In addition to professional and personal struggles, Corey Harrison has experienced significant loss within his family. The death of his grandfather, Richard Benjamin Harrison, marked the end of an era for both the family and the pawn shop legacy. Known as the Old Man, he was a foundational figure whose presence shaped the business and its identity. His passing due to illness deeply affected Corey and the entire family. Another devastating loss came with the death of Corey's brother Adam, who struggled with addiction for many years. His passing brought further emotional pain and highlighted the impact of substance-related struggles within families. Corey publicly expressed grief and love for his brother, sharing memories and personal tributes. These events added emotional weight to his life story, reminding audiences that behind the entertainment and business success lies a family that has endured hardship and tragedy. Despite everything, Corey continues to operate within the pawn business and remains part of the television legacy that made his family internationally known. His journey reflects a combination of success, struggle, loss, and resilience, showing that even in a world built on valuation and negotiation, the most important experiences are deeply human. Corey Harrison Conclusion Summary. Corey Harrison's life reflects a mix of privilege, pressure, success, and struggle, shaped by growing up inside a family business that became a global television phenomenon. What started as a small pawn shop in Las Vegas evolved into a worldwide brand, and Corey's identity developed alongside its rise. He moved from working behind the counter to becoming a central figure on screen, managing business responsibilities while also living under constant public attention. This visibility brought opportunity and financial stability, but it also exposed him to criticism, personal challenges, and public scrutiny. Throughout his journey, Corey has experienced both professional achievements and personal setbacks. He has dealt with controversies, legal issues, accidents, and difficult relationships, all while maintaining a demanding role in the family business. At the same time, he has faced deep personal losses within his family, which have shaped his outlook on life and responsibility. Despite these hardships, he continues to remain active in the pawn shop and television world, balancing business duties with his role as a father and family member. Ultimately, Corey Harrison's story is one of resilience within complexity. It shows that success is rarely simple, and that behind public fame often lies a life filled with challenges, growth, and ongoing adaptation.